Got one of these handy dandy VB WRXs on the dyno today. Came in and I started doing my basic pre-dyno inspection, which involves a smoke test, and I found a little leak. Well, unfortunately the little leak was down in the hole pretty deep, so I had to start disassembling stuff to get to it. And well, we found some issues, and one of those issues is this car has a Blouch 5356 turbo, so an upgraded Blouch turbo, but if you can see that right there, that's a stock turbo inlet. Well, the problem with the stock turbo inlet is it's got a tiny little opening on this end that goes into the turbo. So you've got this nice big turbo and all these extra parts. This thing's got a ETS front mount intercooler kit, full exhaust, all kinds of good stuff. But that little turbo inlet is really going to choke us out. Normally our go-to is a Perrin turbo inlet. These work really good, and they work with the Extreme Turbo Systems intake just fine. But the problem is this one is also made for stock turbo. Now Perrin does make an upgraded one for the larger turbo size. Unfortunately, I just don't have it in stock. So I could modify this one to make that fit, or I could use something else. Luckily, I had gotten this Overtake turbo inlet for Big Turbo for our shop Outback Wilderness, but then we had some other things going on with that, so I wasn't able to do the install on it. But thankfully for this customer, I had this part ready to go for when this one came in with a big turbo and needed an inlet. There it is. Pretty simple. It is a cast piece. It has the Venturi block off built into it as opposed to a separate piece like the Perrin, and a big gaping opening, and it is sized for the larger turbos. So I will say that when you go to their website to look at the install guide, you get a video and not an actual documented install guide. And videos are great if you have time to sit and watch a video for 25 minutes, but some of us just like to reference things like diagrams, hose routing, things like that. And well, if we had a documented guide, it would be a little bit easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do. I'm gonna get this inlet out and then just start installing that other inlet. I don't really think I want to bore you guys with how to remove a turbo inlet, especially because this car isn't stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing yanked out real quick. Doing this on the dyno, less than ideal, but it is possible. And if I can do it on the dyno, you can definitely do it in your driveway. A couple hose clamps, because we have to disconnect the coolant lines. And this is the fitting, came in the kit to connect them to each other. All right, stock inlet is out. Let's take a look at this compared to the other one. So first off, you can see there's a significantly larger opening in that one than this one. On this side, also significantly larger opening. And that's what we want. It's all about flow and direction of flow. So we want to straight through as much of a kind of a velocity stack shape as possible. It's not really a velocity stack shape, but you can see the smoothness as it enters the turbo, and that's what we're shooting for. And this, not so much. Those big chambers back there that creates a bunch of turbulence right as the air comes into the turbo. And this has that Venturi, which is basically just a giant boost leak, which this blocks off. Nice feature. Looks like they give you redundant O-rings for everything. So I was looking at this and I was like, there's no way to grip it, and then I realized it's a 10mm Allen. Okay, we're tight. That's pretty awesome, actually. That's trick. I like that. I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see it, but it's there. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. It's just the coolant line with the fitting in there. Okay, again, this is like the worst way to film this job. Spill a little coolant, cleaned it up, not a problem. I'm going to go ahead and just put this down where it goes. You'll feel the Venturi piece clip in, and that's it. 2 factory bolts. If you don't have a magnetic socket, just take the bolt and take a little piece of rag and stick it in the bolt. Just make sure you get the rag back so you don't suck it into your turbo. And then we're going to come down from this side. Not in there. No, not in there. We go over here. And we just kind of guide her home. Back over to the workbench here, we need this hose, and we need this little copper restrictor. Don't lose this guy. And we need to insert this into this hose. So it's a little bit tricky, but they give you kind of a bigger opening so you can kind of use another tool to just shove her in there. Cool. Now let's get something to push that in with. Little skinny Phillips head. Now a lot of people I've seen skip this step for whatever reason on both this inlet and other inlets, and that's a problem. This is a mandatory part on these. And then basically we're just short ones on one side and the long ones on the other side. Apparently I kind of jumped the gun on putting the other end on this, so we're just going to leave it with one end on it for now, like this. This is where the little restrictor is right here. Perfect. Now we got to take apart the front of the motor. Basically, we're just popping this guy out and taking this hose off here. It just goes to a little Y down underneath the block there. So now we have the Overtake piece versus the factory piece, and as you can see, I don't love that. So I guess I'm supposed to try to stretch these over that, so I'm going to give it a shot. Well, with just a little elbow grease, I was able to get her on. So I guess it's going to work. We'll just tuck all this back underneath there and then run this hose down into the end there. So now we have it installed underneath here. It's right back there. It's pretty imperative you make sure there's no kinks in that. If you have a kink in that, you're going to get an evap code. Comes back here over to this line, looking good. Should be fine. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the inlet reinstalled now. Go ahead and get the intake reinstalled, and then smoke tester again, make sure everything is sealed up, and then we'll get the radiator put back, or the radiator fan put back in, and start tuning this thing. Pro tip, if you're having troubles getting your intercooler pipe into the coupler down by the turbo, use a little of this Rave 5X Mega Hold, Mega Freeze. I don't know, hairspray, it works great. It's just like dirt bike grips. You just give it a little spray right on the end there, and she'll go right in and she'll tack up and it'll be great. Smoke machine says there are no leaks. Always update your firmware. It's the first thing you should always do when you're loading a map on your access port before you even try to flash it to the car. Getting her flashed up. I was really hoping to do the test on this Overtake inlet, being able to do a back-to-back on the same car with a factory inlet, but unfortunately time just didn't allow for that. However, I am going to show you guys some pretty crazy numbers that you can make on a setup like this. So this car has a Extreme Turbo Systems intercooler, the Blouch 5356 Turbo, full turbo back exhaust, including high flow catalytic converters. And previously on the dyno with the stock turbo and stock inlet, it made 345 horse and 381 foot-pounds. Now it was definitely truncating torque. I don't like it when they make just insane torque numbers. But that was peaking about 18 pounds of boost. We're about to do a pull at 12 pounds, and we're going to see how close we are with this setup. It's going to be interesting. Oh yeah, and she has an unequal length header, which I actually don't really like, and I feel like those kind of lose some power. So let's see what this does at 12 pounds. So that was 12 pounds versus previously we were holding about 16, 17 up top. So 325 horse. Torque is still down quite a bit because we haven't turned the boost up yet, but this was what we were making before and now. And it's a bigger turbo, and we're still coming up pretty good down through the bottom. So let's see if we can get it up a little bit more down here. Let's see what 14 pounds does. 2 more pounds, 30 more horsepower. And look up top in the green, we are now making more power than we were before. We're going to try to get this middle up, and then it's just going to carry out. Our goal is somewhere around 400. I don't know if we'll get there with these headers, but we'll find out. Well, there we go in the red, 403 horse and 388 torque, and the old 346 and 383. Now you can see we are down a little bit of torque here at 3,000, and that's wide open throttle torque. A fair bit, but that's not to be unexpected. When you add a bigger turbo, there are always trade-offs, but look at how it just carries out now. Over 400 horse, all the way out to red line, looking pretty zesty. So yeah, that's looking right where I want it. Everything is pretty tidy in here. Looks good. I mean, it's a little dirty. Clean her up, bud. But yeah, that turbo inlet did a good job keeping everything flowing. I had no issue. We're actually at 19 pounds out the top. So this is 19 PSI up here. Kind of fuel limited. We only have 92 octane here, so not the best fuel, but not bad at all for a little street car. Going to the data log, we've got like 5.5 millimeters on the wastegate still to play with. So there's a lot of gate left if we wanted to try to run a bunch more boost. That was at 18.13 up top, so not even 19 pounds. We're making 400 horse on pump gas. Pretty spicy, guys. I really like this setup. It's flowing great. 92 octane, 400 horsepower, 380 foot-pounds. It's actually a little bit later in the torque than stock, which is good for things like the stock transmission, the stock clutch, all of that, which this car still has. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think the customer will be super stoked. And this Overtake inlet fit great and made great power combined with these other parts, and I couldn't be happier with it, honestly. The only things that I wish it had written instructions. I think that's a really important thing that companies need to do. And then from there, really, it's just that's it. That's all I got. Written instructions. Cast inlet fits really well. Packaging really well. The parts really well. Redundant O-rings, very good. The instructions online are clear, they're just in a video only. So let's get some written instructions, guys. And then I think that'll be a pretty perfect inlet for just about everybody with the larger turbo housing. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.